Hey, ladies and gents, thanks for joining us today. Jacob Heath, Nick Swire here with part two of the introduction to the two-man umpire system. We want to also reiterate to watch our first video on base mechanics. That's going to fill in some of the gaps here with some of the stuff that we're not going to talk about. As always, like, share, comment. We appreciate those things. We appreciate y'all's support that y'all have given us, all of our people out there. So thank you for your continued support. I want to give a big shout out right quick to TJ Whitty for allowing us to use some film from his games. He's been critical in helping us be successful in those aspects. We understand that people are visual learners, not just audio learners. So we appreciate him and everything he's done to help us out. Just want to go over of an overview of what we have going on here today. Again, this is the two-man umpiring system. These are the base mechanics that we're going to talk about today. So we're going to break everything down into two main sections. The first thing we're going to do is no runners on, which is fly ball coverage, fair foul. We'll talk about going out from A, as well as taking plays at first base. And then we'll move right on into runners in, talk about our fly ball coverage in B and C, our rotations with our partner, as everything with communication, just discussing who's taking what fly balls. We're going to talk about our footwork on double plays, our rundowns, splitting our distances, steals, our footwork there, as well as our tag ups on the bases. Nick's going to start us off with our fly ball coverage and fair and foul.
Yeah, so as we know, as we said in our previous videos, the outfield in two-man, when the base umpire is an A, we split the outfield in half. So the base umpire has from the center fielder straight in, straight back, all the way to the foul line. All right. So, and then he has all the foul responsibilities past the bag as well. We give everything in front of the bag to the plate umpire. And as we know before, we only go out on trouble. We're going to get into that when we talk about going out. But there's only certain instances where we actually go out to the outfield to cover fly balls, and we cover those when the ball is deemed trouble. So going out from A, it's very vital, and we've all said it, that we see a lack of people pausing, reading, and reacting. We need to do that every single fly ball to the outfield, no matter what. We need to turn our chest to the ball and then read the fielder to deem if it's trouble and then react otherwise. And as I said, we only go out in trouble. And like we said in our previous videos, there's 4 things that deem trouble. 1, ball to the wall, a ball threatening a boundary decision, so home run decision, a ball towards the foul side fence. The other one is converging fielders. Anytime that we have fielders, possibility of colliding or catch, no catch that we don't really know who caught or if they caught it or not, we should go out on that. The other one is fair foul decisions. Obviously, we should have someone out there for that. And then lastly is catches below the waist. So slides, dives, all those, we should have someone out there because we would rather have the base umpire go out and take that than the plate umpire take it from 250 feet away. So, and as we know, we don't want to just aimlessly run out to the outfield when we're covering a fly ball. We want to create an angle. We want to be able to see the ball into the glove. So a lot of guys just run out there. They just run without a purpose, run to create an angle. And if we go out, there's that mechanic out there that people know that if you go out, you also have the possibility of covering home plate. A lot of things come into play here. First off, if you're able. If you're older or just if you're physically unable to, talk about that in your pregame, saying, hey, I'm not going to be able to cover the plate. But if you're able to make it to the plate, first off, it looks really good. If there's a inside the park home run and the base umpire's there. So and then the other thing is it shows how much of a crew person you are. To have your plate umpire's back, to not let him out to dry over at third with possibility of overthrows and everything. So get there if able. So this video right here, it really emphasizes all of that, right? The base umpire here, he pauses, he reads, and then he reacts to going out. All right. What we see here though, right? I said it earlier, he turns and faces the ball. He takes that time to read if this ball is trouble or not. he deems it as trouble. We have a couple things here. We have converging fielders. We have the shortstop, we have the second baseman, and the center fielder all converging in one. So there's the possibility of collisions, drops in between them, weird situations. We've all seen it where they scoop the ball up and then the other guy catches it. Weird situations here. And the other thing here is we see him not necessarily going out into the outfield. He's still in the infield. That is perfectly fine. He's doing something and going out in a purpose to create an angle. If he went more out into the outfield, he's probably not going to see anything. If he goes down the line, he's not going to see, and he's going to be even further away from that play. So again, go out with a purpose, pause, read, react, go out there with a purpose and a conscious knowing that I'm going out there and I'm needed out there.
Guys, great job by Nick there talking about going out from A in our fly ball coverage and fair and foul. Also something I want to touch on too. We talk about this in the pregame, like Nick said. I'm a big guy on communication on the field. I've talked to you guys, and you guys have heard me talk about over-communication. There's no such thing as over-communication on the field. Some guys will say, hey, if you see my back, I'm going out. You'll see my back, and not only will you see my back, I'm going to point to the outfield and say, hey, I'm going out. Or you'll hear something from me going out. You'll also hear me and when I'm coming back in. Especially, it's crucial to find out that time, especially when he's rounding second base, because at that point we usually should have a catch, no catch, whatever's going on. Hey, I got the plate, or hey, it's all you. So communication is important at that point in time. Just want to talk about going now into taking plays at first base. We're going to be real short and quick with this. Two philosophies. There's a 90-degree angle, which is what you're going to be taught at pro school when you go down there. Some people like to use 2, 4, and 6. 2 steps off the line on the right side of second base or thereabouts. Shortstop area, they like to use 4 steps. And on the left side of shortstop, going to third base area, 6 steps. Now, this is all relative, right? Some people could use 3, 6, and 9. Some people could use 2, 5, and 7, whatever it may be. Whatever you're comfortable with. And then there's also a lot of higher level guys that are using this 2 steps off the line thing. They like the angle that they're taking. It seems to stay out of the way of the runner and the ball. There's nothing wrong with either of these 2 things, but you have to remember whichever one you use, you have to be consistent in what you're doing. So don't waver. And the reason why I say this is because now we're seeing plays the same way each and every time. Now our whackers are becoming easier to call. Now it's our time, right? The other thing I want to talk about taking plays at first base is keep your shoulders squared to the bag and let your head and eyes do the work. Mm-hmm. Don't turn yourself into a robot and turn your whole body towards the bag. Keep your shoulders squared to the bag and follow the ball away to the glove. Use your timing, all that stuff. We're going to move right into runners on base things now. We're going to talk about our fly ball coverage in the B and the C. Right here, I'm going to discuss I'm sorry, we have a video for plays at first base. So let's go ahead and watch that. You can see right here, he's actually practicing the 90-degree angle mark. Again, this is a minor league game. So that's what these guys are being taught at pro school. Again, whatever one you pick, stay consistent with, and let your eyes do the work.
And Jacob, let me just jump in for a second. So you also see him; he busts in. He's not just walking in. He's getting off that line with a purpose to create an angle. So,
absolutely, good catch there, Nick. Good advice. We'll move right into runners on base, fly ball coverage. We're going to talk about the book diagram here. You see it there about what it says. Obviously, we will all know it that are teaching these guys. Everything to the inside of the right and left fielder, straight in and straight back. As a base guy in my pregame, I will talk to my plate guy and I will voice my opinion that I will take the ball unless I'm called off. And so when I say that, obviously we know a shot down the line, a fair foul, a bounding ball that's foul. we know that the plate guy has those things. So, but meaning those gray areas, a step out, 2 steps out, 3 steps out, if he's turning to the outside or turning to the inside, those are gray area baseballs. I prefer to always let the base guy take as many fly balls as he can, and communicate that and let everybody know that that's what's going on. So, like we said, straight in, straight back to the insides. That's all the base guys coverage. Also, be cognizant of where you're at on the field when these fly balls happen. Nick's going to get into rotations next, but and it's also going to affect that. Not only that, but our tag up situations and then splitting our distances to the bag. This stuff all goes hand in hand. There's not one thing that you can do without the other. Everything goes hand in hand. So just be aware of where you're at on the field, especially when rotations happen. Specifically balls down the right field line. Obviously, when we'll talk about multiple tag ups, we'll go right into rotations on base hits, and Nick's going to take that away.
Yeah, so as we know, we have 3 rotations in the 2-man system. We have R1 only, runner on first only. We have R1, R3 only, and then we have R1, R2 double tag situation. So these 2 videos that we're going to talk about right here are the R1 and R1, R3 only. We'll talk about the rotation and somewhat for the R1, R2 situation when we talk about tag ups a little bit when we get there. But some words of advice that I've always been taught and I preach is that when you're the base umpire and there's a rotation situation, visually, if not verbally, communicate at times to make sure your partner is covering the play at third. Because if he's not, then you got to cover it. So what I got into the habit of is when I'm in the middle of the field and I know there's a base hit to the outfield and there's a possibility of a play at third, I will immediately turn my head towards third base to make sure my partner's coming up. It's very important to do that because if he's not, again, we got to cover that base. Things could happen. Missed rotations happen. God forbid the feet catch up with the catcher and he falls over or something. So just be aware of that. The other thing is don't have happy feet. A lot of younger and newer umpires have happy feet in the middle of the working area when there's a base hit in a rotation situation. These videos really show it that these base umpires just turn and stay put. If you work towards the C side during that base hit, now you're taking yourself away from the possibility of a back pick into first, a back pick into second. So just stay where you are. And then once the plate umpire returns back towards the plate, or if the rotation's called off, work your way to that side. So the first video, R1 only rotation here. As we see right here, the base umpire turns, make sure that the plate umpire is coming up. And again, he's just staying put here. There's nothing else to do. And as soon as the plate umpire releases, he moves over to the C side. This other one here, we have R1, R3. So as we know, once there's a base hit to the outfield, R1, R3 situation, if we know he's going to score, we can just eliminate him from the equation and just think of it as an R1 situation only. So therefore, the plate umpire's got third, and we can just think about this process of the base umpire as the same thing. We got to turn, we got to look at the plate umpire, see if he's coming up, and we also got to be cognizant that he might call off the rotation, just like in this video. This play is an obvious double, so the plate umpire is going to stay home because there's a possibility of the play at the plate. So the base umpire moves over, gets ahead of the runners, gets to the C side. So just in case that on the throw home, the batter runner goes towards third, he can be on that side to get there. So, but look at very little movement from him. He just keeps his chest to the ball. There's no reason to just be a jackrabbit and just move all over the place. Just set your feet, move when needed. We have multiple runners. We have multiple base responsibilities. We don't want to commit to one side or another. So. And then this situation, we just have a normal fly ball to the outfield. So it's not a base hit. So therefore, it's not a rotation. But the base umpire does a great job here of stepping up, turning, facing the ball, just the ball. He's watching the ball. Obviously, that is his fly ball coverage. So he has to maintain it. And as soon as the ball is caught and there's no rotation, now he works his way back into first because there's no more tag up. All right. He's got to work his way back in towards that cutout in case for that pick, that back pick, in case for that appeal situation, all of that. So again, just to reiterate, communication is very vital into this situation. Turn your head, and sometimes even if you see him tailing, just say, hey, you going to be there or something? Just communicate. Jacob just said it. There's no such thing as over communication. So just continue to do that, continue to move on, think about processes, think about the rotations, think of where I need to be, think of my footwork. And the other thing is, don't have happy feet. So
that's great.
Yeah, you got anything else?
Yeah, I just wanted to add something to reiterate what Nick's saying about, things can happen with rotations. Just remember that all it takes is one time for you to cover a rotation, and evaluators there watching you, somebody important is there watching you, because we've talked about this. Somebody's always watching. You have to umpire as such. And it's one phone call, it's one assignment, and now you're on another level. It takes your game to the next level. It shows that you can flat out umpire. There are certain things, and even in these videos, that we cannot teach you all, or that anyone else will be able to teach you. And that is just flat out umpiring, and that's where it starts coming into play.
So next we got double play responsibilities. I'm gonna hand this off to Jacob. So
yeah, guys, we've all seen the plays, right? As far as whether it's an interference at second base, whether we have a transfer play with the shortstop, second baseman. We've seen our whacker at second, whacker at first. But we have to work to control the things that we can control. So a couple of things. Am I where I need to be, right? First off, it starts with my positioning in B, or even C in this point, and we'll get to that part as well. But strictly talking about B here, starting in the B position, your typical 4-6-3 double play. Just simple, step up, turn. We're going to keep our chest to the ball like we do on every other play. That's the cardinal rule of umpiring, keeping our chest to the ball, right? And then also you'll see the third bullet point says, if not already, get to the B side of the working area. So what we mean by that is if you're in C and that ball is hit, whether it's to your right or to your left, you got to work really, really hard to get to the B side of the working area. That's going to give us the best opportunity to get to play both at second and first base, right? It's also going to show a level of effort that we have and hustle to get to a spot, right? We're working hard to get the play right. We're working hard to umpire to the best of our ability. And now you'll see the fourth point says call the play at second while turning towards first. When I say that, always remember to stay with the baseball. I cannot do anything without the baseball. I cannot decide whether it was a clean transfer. It was a catch, no catch. So I can't go anywhere without the baseball. So although my shoulders can be squared one way, my head needs to be on a swivel. Let my head, my eyes do the work. I said that early on. Let my head, my eyes do the work. So let's watch this video, and you're going to see this guy work hard. He's just going to simply turn. He's going to have the baseball at second base. He's going to
want another broken bat towards.
And so the most important thing that we're going to talk on double plays, and we're going to get into steals next, is our timing, right? Those plays that happen, bam, 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 those are the plays that we have to be, that our best timing has to happen, right? So always remember, step up, turn, face the ball. If you're not on the B side, bust butt to get to the B side, okay? Call the play at second while turning towards first, and stay with the baseball no matter what. Keep your eyes on the baseball, and make sure we have a clean transfer, that we're coming to get it, right?
Jacob, if you just let me jump in for a second. So as we see in this video too, as the same thing as rotations, there is minimal movement here by the base umpire. He's not getting sucked into the play at second. He's not getting sucked into the play at first. He is where he needs to be. There's no reason to do all this extra movement. And what I've seen, especially with younger guys, is on this hit to the third baseman, the base umpire is automatically moving towards the ball. There's no reason for that. You just stay put. We know what's going to happen when the ball is hit in this situation. We know it's going to be a 4-6-3, a 5-6-3, whatever. anything. Okay, we know what's going to happen. So just stay put. Know that you are in the position you need to be. So yeah, I was just watching and I thought it was a great job by him of just staying.
Absolutely. Well, you said it, and you said it earlier too, Nick. Just remember that most of the time, if you're not moving in the two-man system, you're probably right. Obviously, we have our rotations where we know where we're supposed to be and things like that. But the two-man system is not designed for us to run around the field. It's designed for us to know where we're supposed to be and do what we're supposed to be doing. Angle over distance is the motto in this. So thank you, Nick, for that. We'll move right into steals. We're going to talk about the steal of second and the steal of third. Again, the main motto of these two things are angle over distance. Specifically talking about the steal of second base, this video right here shows it. We're going to go ahead and play it. You're going to see this guy actually, he's going to take the drop step that we're talking about. He's actually going to take a step or two more towards second base. That's something that me and Nick are actually going to recommend to you guys. There's nothing wrong with that. For you guys that are going to go down to school, it's a simple drop, step, and turn. They really don't want too much more movement on it after that. I'm sure some guys will dock you on it, some guys will not. But just what I'm saying is at school, it's a drop, step, and a turn. Also, no problem with taking a step or two more, especially when you can. And make sure that it's not just a step or two towards the plate. Read the play at that point. Now my eyes are following the baseball. Now I can read the throw. I can get a feel of where the tag is going to be. Create an angle. Just remember that. And now going right into the steal of third. Again, angle over distance. The first mistake I see that young guys make when they're in C taking a steal of third base is that they're going straight towards the bag. First off, if I'm going straight towards the bag, and even if, let's say, for instance, I get to the cutout some way, somehow, I have a ball, and all I see is ass and elbows. That's it. I have no angle in the play. I have no idea where the tag occurred. I have no idea when the runner reached the bag. But if I work into the 45-degree mark between third and home, which is the exact middle between third and home, now I have an angle. And now I'm creating angle over distance, right? So when we're going to have those coaches come out on us, and it's going to be, we're going to have tough plays, and it's going to be a two-man system. Coach, I'm where I'm supposed to be doing what I'm supposed to be doing. After I've explained what I have, and we've gotten into that argument, and you can't miss that, Coach, I'm where I'm at doing what I'm supposed to be doing. So you protect yourself. And something that's not on here that I want to talk about is a double steal of first and second. It's very simple how you handle that situation. Do not commit to either bag until a throw is made. That is where you have to work really hard to go back to, even when we talk about coming out of pause, read, and react. Stop. The pitch is going to happen. You're going to see two guys. Everybody's going to be yelling two. Everybody's going to be yelling three. Somebody's going to be running around. Wait till he throws the baseball. And fortunately, in the two-man system, all we can do is probably take one or two steps one way, one or two steps the other way. And we've got to create the best angle possible in that double steal situation. Again, it goes back to timing. Take your time. Let the play develop and finish. Make sure we have the baseball. Read the reaction of our players. And then make your decision. There's no rush. And the biggest thing that all four of us actually talked about, and we brought up something good in this week's meeting, is staying consistent with your timing on whether it's a safe call or it's an out call. No need to rush anything if he's safe, and obviously no need to rush anything when he's out too. But that's something we never think about too. Is safe. Is that if he's out for forever, and if he's safe, he'll be safe for forever, right? Especially when we have crazy plays of an overslide or anything like that, a drop ball, the runner thinks he's out, anything like that. We're gonna go straight into rundowns now. Really simple, guys, in the two-man system. The plate umpire is going to come up and help out with rundowns between first and second and third, as long as there's no runner on third base, right? If there's not a runner on third base, then he's willing to help us out with that, and he'll be able to. But we have to assume all responsibility is ours until we hear that. And that's more than likely not going to happen until the second throw, especially if it's originating from second base. Obviously, because we're going from second to first, first to second which would be the second throw. Same thing, second to third, third to second would be the second throw. So, but be prepared and listen for your partner when he's letting you know. Again, this is all pregame responsibilities, right? What we talked about rundowns. Hey, you're going to hear me when I get to third base. Hey, you're going to hear me when I get to first base, loud and clear. So, and once we get there, the two biggest things now are working parallel with the runner and also splitting the difference between you and the plate umpire. So make sure that we're talking about that in the pregame too, about creating angle on tags. Hey, I have him all the way to the halfway point, and after that, it's yours. And don't assume the tag. That's my biggest thing as a young umpire that I've tried to work on not assuming, whether it's bang bang play at the plate, a simple tag play. And there are videos all over the MLB of guys assuming tags, and there were tags and there weren't tags, or there were tags and we didn't see it. So don't assume the tag. Create an angle, see the tag, and read your players. So now we'll finish up with our last slide, which are tag ups. The biggest thing here, be in a position to see the ball into the glove and watch the foot leave the bag. This is what I call 100% play. If you are not 100% that player left the bag early, then he's safe. No doubts, no questions asked. There is not a think, there is not a thought. It's what I saw and what registered. If I do not believe that runner left the bag early, especially in the two-man system, I'm not going to grab something that I don't see. So that's the main point of this tag-up thing that I want the young guys to understand is do not go get something that you're not 100% about. That should be in all aspects of umpiring, but unfortunately we do have to make tough decisions and tough plays where things have to be made. So now we're talking about multiple tag-ups. When possible, when we're talking about multiple tag-ups, mainly speaking first and second, right? And we have the baseball, and we know it's a can of corn. It's there. Work to get depth, I guess you could say. If we have the runners at first and second, and things are happening, and it's a can of corn, and we got it, good, great. But there are those catch no catch plays, those trouble plays where that's in our fly ball coverage area, and we may have to go to the edge of the grass to see that baseball and that catch. There's nothing wrong with that. Again, something to talk about in the pregame about the home plate umpire helping out with tag ups at first base. It's a possibility. These are all things that are crew dynamics. But especially on a ball down the right field line where you know that your plate guy has the tag up. Has the baseball, and you have both of those tag ups. Which also, again, this is another situation where the plate guy can probably take first base tag up if need be. But split your distance. This is the same thing on a double steal. You know you're going to have to play both in the second and into third, and essentially the whole infield, right, at that point. But so split your distance. Don't overcommit because you know the ball's going to third base, because all that happens is now I've overcommitted to third base. They throw the ball to the cutoff, and now the cutoff man's throwing the ball to second base, or it's a play back into first, right? So now we're in trouble. We're either seeing ass and elbows, or we have no angle in the play, and now we got to guess. So I think the biggest motto of this whole entire video is angle over distance. That's all you can do to work in the two-man system. So Nick, you got any words of advice or anything else to add?
Nothing much. Just what I've said before. Just communication is very key, especially in two-man. You got to know where each other are. You got to know what your responsibilities are. You got to know what your partner's responsibilities are, and you got to know if they're executing those or not. So those visual communications, those verbal communications are very important, especially in rotation situations. And the other thing is, like I've always said, happy feet. It's okay to just do nothing. You're going to feel out of place by not moving, but sometimes the best thing we can do is just stay still. So.
Something else to add to, a shout out to Nobu. I really appreciate him and his time and effort with helping us find film. I know Nick's also played a part in that as well. So really appreciative of those guys. That gives us an opportunity to be successful and make this page what we're trying to make it, which is the new standard for younger and newer umpires. Obviously, if anyone else wants to learn, it's always good to go back to the basics. But we're working really hard here, and we appreciate the support of those people and anybody else that's been helping us out. We appreciate that, and thank you guys.
Yep. Thanks, guys. We're going to have the new videos coming out, going live. Our off the plate segments. We got a few guys already in the books saying that they'll help out and they'll do some videos for us. So hope you guys are looking forward to that. If not, if you guys have any questions, concerns, just reach out. We're more than happy to help. Thanks, guys.